watching UnrealEntGaming. This is Beerus, the God of Destruction. Make sure you subscribe to UnrealEntGaming and push the like button for me, or else I'll Hakai you from existence. Oh, and to make sure to watch the entire video all the way through, and to follow UnrealEntGaming on both Instagram and Twitter. Whiz, enough. On to the video.
With Dragon Ball Super manga chapter number 92 now officially in the history books, the mystery behind the Red Ribbon Army now continued to unravel following Gamma 2's sneak attack on an unsuspecting Piccolo, as with the manga now geared towards further exploring the context behind the coming battles involving the androids and our heroes, the million-dollar question now going forward becomes, at what point are we expected to see our heroes confront and battle both Gammas and Cell Max, and how different are these events going to be when compared to the overall product that was of the Dragon Ball Super superhero movie. As a quick reminder before we go deeper into this video, if you just so happen to be new to the channel and have a love and passion for all things Dragon Ball and anime related, then I do encourage you guys to go on over and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications by clicking on the bell icon to never miss a single video posted on the channel, as well as giving this video a big fat thumbs up by slapping that like button down below if you simply enjoyed the content being shown within the Dragon Ball Super manga and are excited to see what the overall direction of Dragon Ball Super is going to be going forward. And if you would like to learn more and catch up on the previous Dragon Ball Super manga chapters, then be sure to go ahead and click down below in the description box in checking out the official Dragon Ball Super manga playlist, to where not only would you be able to catch up on all of the previous manga chapters that you guys may have missed, but you could also check out some of the previous moments that have unfolded and which had brought us to this very moment in time. So with that being said, I want to thank you all so much for your time, thank you all so much for your support, and now let's dive straight into the video. As we kick off Dragon Ball Super manga chapter number 92 with a very intense stare down involving both Gamma 2 and Piccolo, as with Gamma 2 now beginning to reveal a bit more of his personality by from there being shown turning his shoulder, it was just upon with Piccolo now being shown spotting the red ribbon symbol that was on Gamma 2's left arm, where Piccolo went on to comment, "I remember that symbol back when I was a god. It's the mark of the Red Ribbon Army." Huh? Oh, oopsie, Gamma 2 says. Well, looks like the jig is up. Wait, you are a god? Huh, tell me more. Why should I? Piccolo responds. Do your homework next time, with Gamma 2 responding, huh, not in a sharing mood, huh? I can't sense your ki, which means that you are a robot or maybe an android. Who created you? Dang, you figured out that much? Gamma 2 asks. Well, good for you, I guess. But that's classified info too, with Piccolo responding, well, are you seriously here to fight me? Yep, today was supposed to be a basic trial run for me, but change of plans, cause you gotta bite the dust, you see? So don't hold back against me, okay? Orders are orders, with Piccolo responding, let's get this over with then. To which, as soon as Gamma 2 was the first between them to be shown from here on making the first move on Piccolo, that was when their battle had then quickly resumed just as it was seen in the movie, only this time instead of having the outcome favor Gamma 2 in this scenario, it instead ends up favoring Piccolo, because as soon as Gamma 2 went for a punch in aiming to take Piccolo's head off, Piccolo ended up quickly ducking on under and using his cape as a means of a distraction to throw Gamma 2 off his game, before quickly having to follow up by taking advantage of the situation by from there being shown having to punch Gamma 2 in the stomach, as this was now becoming very clear to Gamma 2 that by no means was this fight going to be an easy one for him, because the second Piccolo from there was now shown having to kick Gamma 2 away, you can even now begin to see the expression that was bestowed upon Gamma 2's face, because Gamma 2 was not expecting for any of of this to happen, let alone in even having any of this solely come from Piccolo of all people, to which the moment Gamma 2 was shown having to hit the rocks below and from that point now shown jumping on back, Gamma 2's entire demeanor had now changed as he was now looking to bring the fight right back at Piccolo, as he not only made his way in smashing right into Piccolo's stomach, but we from there begin to see the similarities to that of the film as Gamma 2 went on to flip on backwards and kicking Piccolo right back down onto the ground. It would only from that point then be safe to say that neither character was expecting from any of this to happen come from the other, but even despite Piccolo's body being shown crashing through the landscape before having to maintain balance, Piccolo from that point then began to understand more as to what he was about to get himself into, especially against this unknown android. So upon now being shown having to rub his chin and looking on up to address Gamma 2, that was when Piccolo went on to respond, "Oh, he's not sustaining damage. He must be an android after all." Now I gotta say, Gamma 2 chimes in, "I thought you'd put up a decent fight, but this is kind of a letdown." And boy was Piccolo now beginning to get serious, because upon Piccolo now shown tearing off his cape and making his way right back at Gamma 2, Piccolo now slowly but surely began to understand the threat level that was of Gamma 2 as he was fighting him, because you can even see that even with the intention that Piccolo had in tearing Gamma 2 apart, Gamma 2 was effortlessly shown having to avoid each and every single one of Piccolo's attacks, in which from that point had only then prompted Piccolo in getting even angrier than how he was before, because upon Piccolo once again now shown successfully kicking Gamma 2 away, Gamma 2 had now resorted in drawing forth his gun in making sure that he was going to use this as a means of taking Piccolo down, to which the second Gamma 2 was now shown taking aim in making sure that he was going to strategically get Piccolo at the right moment. The second Gamma 2 from there was shown pulling the trigger and successfully now shown connecting a solid shot on Piccolo's arm, and from that point even being shown blowing his entire right arm away. Gamma 2 from there had now realized this as he kept on shooting Piccolo over and over and over again, even while having a smile on his face. But what Gamma 2 was not expecting to happen was to have Piccolo be shown having to extend his arm through the smoke and grabbing Gamma 2 by the neck, and from that point having Gamma 2's body be shown getting dragged back as Piccolo went on to slam Gamma 2's body across the side of one of the mountains. This had only now proven to be successful enough briefly while Gamma 2's body was pinned, because upon Piccolo shown making his way back in and punching Gamma 2 square in the face, one would only assume that by this point Gamma 2 would be damaged at least slightly, but this was only now proven to be the case otherwise, because upon Gamma 2 now shown addressing Piccolo by smiling, Gamma 2 by no means looked as though he was in distress or hurt during this battle, as Gamma 2 went on to respond, "I see, it could grow back then? Neato. Lesson learned." What Piccolo says? As this was now bad, very bad in fact, because upon Gamma 2 shown knocking Piccolo away by kicking him, Gamma 2 immediately was now shown getting back on the offensive and attacking Piccolo over and over and over again, before finally now being shown finding the openings that he needed and inflicting some serious damage upon Piccolo, because after kneeing Piccolo in the face before having to elbow him in the stomach, Piccolo had now tried once again in maintaining some kind of control in this fight, because what Piccolo tried to do right after was go after Gamma 2 as a means of blowing him away into a million pieces, but even this in and of itself was shown proving to be unsuccessful once again, which really went as far as to put Piccolo in a difficult situation, because it was just as Gamma 2 was shown escaping and making his way up in the air by adjusting his gun and getting ready to blast Piccolo from above, Gamma 2 now, similar to the film, vowed that this was going to be it, because the second he went as far as to fire this shot right back down at Piccolo, Piccolo did not seem concerned by this, but rather instead anticipating this as the attack was shown making its way right down on him, because with a gigantic explosion scene and with Gamma 2 assuming the position that he had beaten Piccolo for good, it was just upon with Gamma 2 being shown having to check his data and analyzing the ground below where Gamma 2 went on to comment, "Huh? Blasted away to zilch? Aw man, I wanted to see him dead just to be sure. Okay." In which upon Gamma 2 now being shown taking his leave with Piccolo watching, that was when Piccolo went on to comment, "I can't let him roam free. Oh, now where are you headed?" To which upon Gamma 2 now shown having to make his way back to the Red Ribbon HQ, we only then see the similarities to that of the film, as the events have transpired identically with Piccolo shown following Gamma 2, to which upon further inspection you can now clearly see that Toyotaro emphasized on the details heavily in this chapter, because not only was the landscape heavily detailed along with the base itself, as there really wasn't any new or additional information that went into Piccolo having to discover this, because similar to that of the film, the moment Piccolo had managed to grab one of the guards and having to quickly be shown knocking him out and changing into one of the Red Ribbon outfits, it was just like we've seen be portrayed in the film, with Piccolo slowly moving his way around and trying to get down to the bottom of things, where inevitably enough, Piccolo had finally now managed to get down to the bottom of things by finding his way to the main chamber of this location, to which upon Piccolo being shown arriving late and now standing side by side amongst the other soldiers, it was just upon with Piccolo now spotting not only Gamma 2 but now also Gamma 1, Dr. Hedo, Carmine, and Vegeta, where Piccolo began to eavesdrop on their conversation as Dr. Hedo went on to comment, "Oh, splendid work out there, Gamma 2. We saw the whole thing play out through your eyes," with Gamma 2 responding, "Oh, thank you, Dr. Hedo. You went overboard for a mere trial, number 2, Gamma 1 went on to respond. "Oh, bite me, number 1. "What? There's another one?" Piccolo went on to say to himself. "No, you showed good judgment," Hedo went on to respond, "but next time, remember to strike your pose both when you first appear and for the big finisher, okay? Not great if our cover is blown," Magenta says, with Hedo responding, "Well, that's only because you insisted on the red ribbon symbols. Did you confirm a corpse?" Gamma 1 asks. A corpse? Nah, there's no need. Dude got vaporized to atoms," Gamma 2 responds. "Oh, you lack vigilance," Gamma 1 says. "Oh, come on. You saw how it went down. Nobody could have survived that," Gamma 2 says. "Now watch closely," to which upon inspection we then see how indeed Gamma 2's assessment was in fact incorrect, as Gamma 2 responds, "Oh, well, that could be anything really." "Okay, Gamma 2, now suppose that was Piccolo," he says. "He could expose our operation to the enemy cabal." "Oh, listen, relax. We'll be fine. It's not like they could ever find this hidden base anyway. And if the secret does get out," Gamma 2 continues, "then we get to take down their nasty gang all at once." "Cabal? What cabal?" Piccolo went on to say to himself. "No, you're too careless," Gamma 1 chimes in, to which upon Carmine now being shown having to use his remote in spawning images of both Goku and Vegeta, that was when Carmine went on to then chime in by responding, "This is Son Goku, whom we've believed to be a mid-tier lieutenant." "Oh, funky hairdo," Gamma 2 says. "And this is Vegeta. Not foes to be trifled with." Of course, and then there's the horrific Majin Buu and Hercule, whose true strength exceeds us. "Now rest easy," Dr. Hedo says. "I've already proven that my masterpieces, the Gammas, are more than capable in combat. And even King Piccolo was easily dealt with, right, Gamma 2? "Yep," Gamma 2 shouts, "too easily." "It sucked," with Carmine responding, "We expected no less from the grandson of the genius Dr. Gero." "Yeah, well, I'm a mega genius, remember? Once my Gammas eradicate the entirety of that powerful, dastardly secret organization, starting with Bulma herself, and it's only a matter of time before you can dominate this rotten world," Dr. Hedo continues. "Yeah, about that," Magenta chimes in. "When's Cell Max going to be done and ready?" "Oh, Cell Max? Oh, well, a needless concern. The Gammas make Cell Max non-essential." "Yeah, answer the question," Magenta says, to which upon Dr. Hedo now being shown turning his head and seeing Cell Max, that's when Dr. Hedo went on to ask, "This fellow, huh?" And Piccolo had a heart attack, because this was the absolute last possible thing that Piccolo could have ever have hoped to see, as Magenta went on to continue, "You said it was mostly done. Yeah, but he requires a bit more time," Dr. Hedo continues. "Cell Max's body is largely complete, but the control program for his mind can't be rushed." "Oh, listen, I've done enough waiting," Magenta went on to shout. "Okay, let me just say this, Commander Magenta. Your patience will be rewarded with unimaginable power. I'm working on no less than exactly what you ordered," with Magenta responding, "Oh, well, it sounds like you ain't so fond of Cell Max. Maybe you would have finished it already if you weren't so obsessed with those Gammas." "I admit," Hedo responds, "I don't relish using Dr. Gero's plans as a blueprint, but I can assure you that I'm not dragging my feet. Cell is a type of android that requires a slow drip of special cells in order to grow, so naturally it's going to take some time. So instead of just complaining, you can instead commend me for creating the Gammas. An efficient use of the downtime, no?" "Oh, enough of that crap," Magenta went on to shout. "I want Cell Max up and running now!" "Well, haste makes waste, Commander," Hedo went on to respond. "This beast is a monster that far outclasses the previous Cell. All would be for naught if we were just to unleash him prematurely." "Oh, is that so? Well, with no other way to control him, Cell Max would destroy every world that you hope to rule over," Hedo says. "And in the meantime, allow the Gammas to dispose shadows of the villains that threaten us. Only then can you activate Cell Max and reveal your might to the entire world at large. And I'm supposed to trust you on all of that, Magenta asks? No, but of course, with Piccolo shown slowly moving on back by saying to himself,
This is so bad.
in which outside, as soon as Piccolo was then shown having to communicate and reaching out to Bulma, that was when Bulma went on to then ask, oh, and what do I owe you the pleasure of, Piccolo? Hey, listen, is Vegeta there, Bulma? Well, no, he's with Lord Beerus. What a shocker, right? And Goku's with him? Well, gee, how could you have guessed, Bulma asks. Listen, don't you have a device for communicating or contacting Whis? Tell him to tell those two to get back here immediately. Why? What's wrong? Listen, I can't get into all of the details now, but we're staring down a new crisis. Oh, fine, I'll reach out, Bulma says. Great, thanks. Okay, there's no time to lose though. Oh, what can I do? We might be needing those senzu beans, Piccolo says, to which upon Piccolo now shown leaving, Piccolo from that point was then shown quickly making his way onto Korin's tower as Piccolo went on to tell Yajirobe and Korin, so you get the picture, right? Well, sounds like a really big deal, Yajirobe says. Uh-oh, Korin chimes in. Sorry, but we only have 2 left. Still, it's much appreciated, Piccolo responds. Oh, careful out there, Kame-sama. Hey, I'm not him anymore. Oh, right, Korin says. In which right before leaving with Piccolo shown contacting Bulma again, that was when Piccolo then went on to ask, Bulma, did you reach out to them? Sorry, I just can't seem to find that damn device anywhere. No, I'm sure I left it around here somewhere. Oh, you've got to be kidding. Listen, this could get rough without Goku and Vegeta. Hey, I get it already, Bulma shouts. Let me just keep on looking. Oh, alright, great, thanks. Still can't get a word to them, huh? Korin asks. Oh no, this is bad. Oh, because based on my own battle, I'd say those 2 Gammas are just about on par with Goku and Vegeta themselves. Hey, how about Son Gohan? You once said that he could be the strongest guy on the planet if he put his mind to it, right? Oh, he's a little useless to us right now. Oh, too bad, he says. And the enemy probably knows more about 17 and 18's exploits from Dr. Hedo's data. And Majin Buu happens to be down for a long nap too right now, so that's bad. Well, then, who's left exactly, Korin asks. Oh, you're looking at him, Piccolo responds. Oh, I guess it's up to me. And so, oh, hang on. Maybe Dende can give me what I need, Piccolo says. To which, as we only then make our way back to Bulma, and seeing as to how she was still trying to find the communicator, it was just as Bulma was ravaging through all of her supplies where Bulma went on to comment, oh, how could I lose that thing? Bulma went on to ask herself, damn it. To which upon Bulma's surprise, as her pet T-Rex was now able to find the communicator needed in order to reach out to Whis, we only from that point then, interestingly enough, make our way on over onto Beerus' planet where there seemed to have been a very intense battle that Whis was very fixated on watching, because despite Whis' staff being shown ringing over and over and over again, it didn't look as though Whis even had the attention span to turn around and having to even remotely check as to what was going on, because seconds later, with a gigantic explosion now seen as Whis went on to take flight with his staff being shown getting blown all the way back even further out into the landscape, as with the dust and smoke beginning to settle on in, as we now get to see how Goku was seemingly locked in a very intense battle against another individual, we quickly then see how this individual had managed to stick their arms out in once again firing yet another blast down at Goku, except it had only stand to reason that this individual that Goku was fighting was neither Vegeta or even Lord Beerus, but instead, this individual turned out to be none other than Broly himself, to which upon Goku being shown shielding himself from the gigantic explosion caused by Broly, the very moment Broly was from there shown quickly emerging from the smoke as he looked to attack Goku, was when Broly had looked as though he was fighting with the intention to actually cause harm onto Goku, because unlike what we've seen go down in the movie, here we actually get to see the two engage in a very intense battle, because it looked as though despite Broly's best efforts in doing what he could to tag Goku, Goku had simply proven to be too evasive enough for Broly to even be able to lock onto, because even despite Broly being shown attacking Goku over and over and over again before being shown having to let out a ferocious roar, Broly was able to momentarily find his opening by from that point being shown headbutting Goku directly in the chest, to which was not only done in such a way to where it had created so much force in driving Goku back so much so, but even Goku himself had realized this before having to be shown crashing right into Beerus' home, where Goku was shown quickly stopping himself and circling around the tree and coming right back at Broly with a kick, only to then surprisingly see how Broly was able to in fact actually stop this, but even during the course of this momentary secondary engagement, it did look as though Broly was seemingly struggling in base against a base form Goku, because upon the two now being shown breaking away, unlike in the film where it started off with Broly shown having to power up, it was just upon with Goku now being shown addressing Broly where Goku went on to comment, "Ooh, nice one, you're really getting the hang of this fighting stuff." "Yeah," Broly says, "but it's still tricky. Now you'll get used to it bit by bit. Pretty soon you'll be fighting with the level head without snapping into a rage mode." Well, this time we're gonna kick things up a notch, okay? With Broly responding, "I'm ready, son Goku." In which with Broly now being shown having to gear himself up and getting ready to do battle with Goku again, it was only right then and there during that moment where Dragon Ball Super manga chapter number 92 then comes to a close. Now, this manga chapter without question to me was the absolute best representation of everything that we've seen thus far be translated into the manga from the Dragon Ball Super superhero movie, especially now with the extended scenes in seeing Broly actually be shown training with Goku for once instead of just pandering on away in not showing us what Goku had been up to, what Broly had been up to. Hell, we know what Vegeta's going to be up to since we've seen him meditate in the movie as well, so to see that overall dynamic of Broly and Goku sparring do I think was a really good addition to the story, because in the movie all of that was cut as we only pan to Broly having to be shown powering up with Goku telling him to relax, so I think it was a really good addition to see Broly actually try his best in hitting Goku with Goku being shown doing his best to avoid it. And so the same can be said with the battle between Piccolo and Gamma 2 in a sense where if you go back and look at the film from the beginning and you from there go back and taking a look at this chapter definitely extended the early fight between Gamma 2 and Piccolo, and so you can kind of even go as far as to appreciate what's being shown here, because a lot of which that was shown in this particular manga chapter really didn't happen in the film, and I think to me that's a really good thing considering the fact that you get to kind of extend a lot of the things that fans wanted to see. And so I want to go on ahead now and get your thoughts down in the comment section below about how you guys felt about this manga chapter, beginning with question number 1, and that's on a rating scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being absolute trash and 5 being phenomenal, what would you guys rank Dragon Ball Super manga chapter number 92 on a scale of 1 to 5? Question number 2, do you guys believe that to some capacity we are going to be seeing somewhat of an extended battle, perhaps maybe even involving Vegeta and Broly this time in the upcoming chapter? And if you don't think for that to be the case, then do you see it to where Broly is going to be shown powering up just like in the film, only for Goku to calm him down? And lastly, do you guys expect for us to get Ultimate Gohan versus Gamma 1 along with Piccolo versus Gamma 2 in the upcoming manga chapter, or do you believe that they're just going to cut it a bit short just before that moment ends up happening? Because I have this feeling that at some point we are going to be seeing Orange Piccolo and Beast Gohan battle against Cell Max somewhat, maybe sometime around during the summer, and I really do hope that we end up getting more exposition as to what Beast Gohan truly is. Perhaps maybe Gohan ends up explaining that a bit more, and for the power scaling here to align, because we know that the end goal here, at least for Goku, Vegeta, and maybe even Broly, is to have them become as strong as they can possibly be, because their end goal is going to be fighting Black Frieza at some point in Dragon Ball Super. And so unless they plan on getting Beast Gohan and maybe even Orange Piccolo involved, which I do have that feeling that they will, then hopefully enough as this continues they end up giving us a more thorough explanation behind all of the scaling in this. And to me, by comparison to the previous manga chapters, I would say that I really enjoyed this that much more than the others. And so I want to go on ahead and get your feedback down below. Again, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so very much for your time. To where once again, if you also just so happen to be new to this channel and of course love Dragon Ball and anime, then I do encourage you guys to head on over and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications by clicking on that bell icon, so that way you guys never miss a single video that is posted onto the channel. On top of giving this video a big fat thumbs up right now by smashing that like button down below, tune back in for more. And with all that being said, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you down in the comment section below and in the next video. Take it easy guys and have a great day. Peace.
Hello. Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to UnrealEntGaming?
Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms, you sexy son of a bitch.
Roshi.
Silent Cell, me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch.
Roshi, the fuck?
God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell.
And we're demonetized.
Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.